the challenge, the pain, the gain, and potential of doing business in southeastern Nigeria, the Biafra land. APC growing the economy of the southeast. Think hope. The challenge.
Yeah, this is BVI Channel 1. You're welcome to today's program, ECOC, Economy of the Southeast, where we talk about important things that affects us as a people. And today I have with me my brother, Andriod, to discuss a very vital issue that affects Igbo as a people. You're welcome to today's program.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear people.
Yeah, today is ECOC, Economy of the Southeast, and we are narrowing our discussion on the root cause why Igbo unity fails. And we are on the topic discussing the individualism, the greatest enemy of Igbo progress. Now, as a way of departure, give us your own perspective on it. Then we'll go down to the root cause for this individualism.
The root cause of individualism started after the war. Actually, I wasn't there before the Civil War, but I've read a lot of books, that started the ideology of Umunna, Igbo Emeze, or Ikwebika, the principle of Ikwebika, where people come together to build the institution that for the interest of the generality of the people. Then thereafter, after the Civil War, people have to survive. And it was the quest for individual survival that scattered our people all over the world. So the major attraction there is for people to survive. But the question right now, Chinedu, is have we survived in 2019? Then what are we still waiting for us to come together and have common interests to develop our land?
Okay, you are saying that actually the root cause of this individualism among Igbos, even it's exhibited in Igbo unions, different groups, even extended to Biafra groups, where there are splinter units of everything. You say it is traced or can be traced, it is traceable to the effect of the war, the post-war effect for Igbo. Now, before the war, what is it like? Because we know that before the war, Igbo Union used to be the most powerful force in Nigeria. That is even more powerful than the caliphate that we're talking about today. And immediately after the war, everybody to attend to everybody now moved down to individual survival. People want to survive at all costs. And you are saying that Igbos 2019, are we still surviving?
Are we still
struggling to survive?
Yes.
Or have we survived? Individually?
Individually, we have survived. Statistically, I can bet you that we have survived because, an average Igbo man is a survivor. Survivor is dependent on the level you are operating. So a keke and pepper person, he is surviving every day because every day he smiles to the bank at least 2,000 naira. Every day he makes average of 2,000 naira. So he is surviving to that extent. And he keeps on hoping that as day comes in or comes up, he will continue to improve. The same man that has one keke and pepper today, is working hard to have the second one. He's working hard to have the third one. So the question of survival is dependent on the level you are operating. However, as per the topic of discussion today, on the individual basis, I can confidently and comfortably say that majority of our people have survived. But as a group, I think that is where we're having challenge.
Yes, exactly.
As a people, having a platform that can, command our respect, a platform that can bring us together and pass on an instruction, outside the church model we have there, I do not think we have any other institution in our laible that commands millions of followers, and that is where the challenge lies. And I think that is why we have to, dissect this topic.
Okay, the reason why we are looking at this individualism is because of we found out that institutions in Igbo land have failed.
Yes, of course.
There is no communal institutions that there's not even what we call they say agenda, Igbo agenda, a well-detailed Igbo agenda for the next 10 years, for the next 20 years, for the next 30 years. What will Igbo land look like? What will an average life in Igbo land or an Igbo person be like? And just like we always cry, Fulani agenda, Islamic agenda. What is the Igbo agenda? Why is it that every Igbo agenda has continued to fail, as propagated by thousands, if not more, groups?
Yeah.
Very soon, Igbo groups will now be family by family. Each family will form their own Igbo group.
It will get to that point if nothing is
with
done.
The way things are going.
If nothing is done at this point to truncate that process of individualizing everything, having personal and selfish interests of every other person.
Everything, personal and selfish interest. That is what is driving that
individualism.
So it's no longer survival. Because people have survived, just like you say.
I said in 2019, are we still struggling to survive?
Our people have survived individually.
Are we, or have we survived? I think it's a project topic for people to research on that.
No.
Are we still fighting to survive, or have we survived? Just like what our Oga big man said the other time, the former governor of Anambra State, he said, "Are we caused?
Or are we the cause?
Or are we the cause?" It's a project work, and when he got into the power, I don't think I had that opportunity to ask him that question, whether he is the cause or
are we caused?
Are we caused? Because he had the opportunity for 8 years, whereas Ojukwu had just 3 years under one situation. And he had the whole 8 years, even though in and out, but he has 8 years. So as in going back to what we were saying, I'm posing that question. Have we survived as a people? After 49 years, I think after the Civil War, 1970, this 49 years now, have we survived, or are we still trying to survive? It's until we answer this question, we'll now know that, like to me, I said we have survived. And that is why BVI is here, to pull our people together. It might look small, now what this guy, Chinedu, is doing, or what BC, coming every Friday to terrorize people and speak grammar. Like village economy, speak grammar and go.
Yeah.
But everything starts small. Like Chinedu has started by packaging a platform like this that talks about the people, the interests of the people. It is a way of promoting common interests. But what you do here, even though nobody pays you out there, but what you do here is projecting and promoting common interests. And I can bet you that you've done it. You are going to promote even business interests. Professor Batten Naji, Southeast economic stuff. You promoted it. Professor Batten did not pay you take up the chair. And you went there, you used your fuel, you drove to that place, and after coverage of, you spent day and night editing the video. And at the end of the day, it was published. Professor Batten, as I know today, has not paid you take over for promoting that video. The same thing when Professor Moala came on board, it's still the same common interest that pushed you to go and meet him. You drove down to him, we met him, and you interviewed him. I can't remember him inviting you or paying you to do that promotion. I knew that you did it bearing in mind the common interest. And the same thing goes to Igbo Development Foundation. Most times and several times and places, you've gone to promote that Igbo organization, and you are projecting it using the platform that people spend money, human resources, time, resources, and everything. Sleepless nights, you promoted, invested a lot of millions of naira. But when ATF has an event, you go there with your camera, cover promote you without negotiating for or monetizing your efforts. The same thing the last time we promoted Ovus. Ovus is a young man that built drone, and you went there, was also there. You know, you interviewed the young man, and the video was escalated, and a lot of people started calling the guy. From there, people knew that that young guy is Ovus, as far as I remember, because I was there. I'm a living witness. He did not pay you take home. The only thing he did was to buy food for you. And also bought for me too. So, you know, if we have an opportunity like this, what we'll do is to begin to look at why this are building a platform that will bring our people together, has never worked or has not been working.
So setting up institutions.
And I want to say the obvious reason is, like I said, after the Civil War, people lost faith with the system. People lost faith with the whole entire lives, and people just had to survive. And they moved out there without government protection, without anybody to pick their back and say, well done, you see, come on, go there and conquer. You know, it was just that imbued insight that made them to survive. And, you know, it's just a game of self-survival, and that has kept people going. I'm not saying that this thing I'm saying doesn't mean that so many other people have not made efforts to bring people together in terms of collectivity. Like people paying school fees, you go to so many communities, people are investing their hard-earned money in lifting people out of poverty. People also have
at individual level.
That is anyway at individual level, but it depends on your definition of collective interest.
Good. Now, what we're talking about is that, like you have pointed out very clearly. But before I go into what I want to say now, I want to acknowledge some of our first people that dropped their comments. And this is a live program. And if this is your first time of coming on this platform, you are highly welcome to this family, where we are building a very powerful community that will transform our lives for good. You know, on this platform, we are Igbo-centric and we are Biafra-centric, and we have no apology to that. And if you have not survived all these years, I wonder what you are still doing. I don't think you are an Igbo man, because it is instinctive, it is in the gene of an average Igbo man to survive, no matter what. For instance, this Onitsha fire outbreak, go there in next, in fact, some people have already started trading. Those people have, some of them have already started trading. And some of them, if you come to that market by this time, just in the next 4 months, 5 months, you will never see a trace of that fire. Because our people have a way of coming back individually, without the effort or any help from anybody. You understand? And we have to move a little bit, like you pointed out. Individualism, the reason why our people are now going to survival instinct, and now everybody, me and my family, to survive first. And we have pushed that line beyond where it's supposed to be, because an average woman has survived. The simple answer to your question, have we survived? Yes, we have survived. The Igbo nation, the Igbo people as an individual, by average, we have survived to a large extent. Now, but the only failure we have recorded in Igbo land is communal project. And I want to use the opportunity to pen down some of the commentaries that we had here so far. The first person that dropped comment is Jack Dong. We thank you. You are the first person that dropped your comment. We have Chukwuma Patrick. We are greeting you from here. We also have Abraham Okechukwu. He said lack of planning is one of our biggest problems. Yes. It is only when that's not the command million or whatever both. And in the command million is about planning. It's about putting heads together to come up with a template, to come up with an agenda, a plan of action for like 10 years, 15 years plan, 20 years plan, 50 years plan. What would Igbo nation be like? I think that is one of the same thing that we're talking about, lack of planning. And who is there to do the planning? That is because they lack leadership. And that never came to see but we have what we call collective leadership. Whenever you bring in fact, I must tell you the reason. Apart from the effect of the war, another reason why our people do not, create splinter units. Now you create a group. Tomorrow they split. You create another one. Tomorrow they split. They keep splitting. They keep splitting. You know the reason. I have discovered that many of these Igbo organizations or Biafra groups are established in the template and structure of Nigeria, with the mindset of unitary system, where somebody will be on top and be additional orders to the rest of the people. Am I what telling you? I believe you understand what I'm saying, our viewers. Now listen to this again. The reason command and control has become the major reason why an Igbo man will continue to split and split and split.
Now you're criticizing Nigeria.
Exactly. Because in Igbo gene, our normal kind of democracy is autocracy, where you have collective or collegiate leadership. No one man is a leader. Everybody leads from his own angle, including women and youths.
That's why we are Republicans.
We are Republican. So when you bring a template and you now say it is command and control, believe you me, it can only last for a period of time, and the people there will start saying, no, you cannot say this thing and we obey. What everybody has his own say. That is an average Igbo man for you.
That's true.
And that is why Igbo unions have continued to fail. Because when you become maybe the president of ADF, or maybe the president of Ahanese, or maybe the president of or the chairman of one group or the other, or even some pro-Biafran group leaders, you now institute one straight command from up to down. It will continue to split.
That's without you, nothing will.
No, without you, everything starts and ends with you. Then nothing will work. I think that is another biggest problem why we continue to split. But if you have a union where you have collegiate leadership, where people come together, reason, and come up with a project plan, then you execute it, I think we will go a long way. Now let's go to institutions that will now pass the system. What do you say about it? Institutional instrument that can reverse individualism and give a collective project and success for people.
I think to start with, the first thing we should look at is building a system, an institution that is driven by scientific, that's scientifically packaged. The scientific packaging in this case is, you have rules, you establish does and don'ts, and you know who does this and at any point in time. The moment you have a working system, everybody will get to know what he or she should be doing, and with an understanding, coming together to have an agreement, it starts from there. The reason why our system is not working is people hardly trust anybody. When you are building, nobody wants to come around. When you are struggling, you want to make an impact, and you invite people to come alongside with you to drive the mission. Though it might be difficult for our people to say, when he stays standing.
Oh,
you keep on telling them that this is the destination, this is where we are going. When you're going on one side, they will make business. It still boils down on that issue of defeating us during the war that has made people to go individual, struggling to survive. So people are mindful of that thing they will do to put food on their table. So when you are beginning to do something that has common interest agenda, the first thing they will look at is what is in there for me. So they are driven by profit mindset. Profit mindset starts with survival. Once you kick start or you start in the morning, and what is driving you is survival. What do you do to survive? Then the key factor driving you is profit maximization. You are driven by profit. It's not welfare. You are not thinking of satisfying the next person. You have to survive first before you think of any other person. This thing you are doing, if you are not surviving, as in buying fuel for your car, fueling yourself and your stomach, I don't think you have time for anybody. But because you are able to take care of yourself, that is why you can come here every now and then to vibrate and talk down on the system, and you want to reform because you have survived. Remember, survival can do with mental survival, psychological survival, emotional survival, and the stomach survival. You know, survival is, has so many angles to that. So if you have that in mind, a lot of our people are actually still have not survived, even though I say they have survived. You have survived could be that you have millions of naira in your account, you have 4-story building, but mentally you have not survived because of fear for unknown. I don't know if you are following.
I understand what you're saying.
If my followers or viewers out there are following my logic, that somebody might have 10 million naira in his account, he has 4-story building, that's physically and monetarily he has survived. But mentally, he hasn't survived because of what? That fear of unknown, that he will not want his children to go back to where he came from, because he knew what he passed through before he got to that point of accumulating 10 million naira and building house. So his major concern at that point in time is to sustain that level of operations in order not to go back again. So that fear for known will make him to hold tightly whatever thing he's doing. So if you have something that you are building beside him and you invite him to come, so the first thing that will strike him is that his personal interest. How would that thing you are doing affect his personal interest, or add or minus?
Okay.
So that is the major challenge we are still having.
Okay. Before you proceed, we have mentioned, we have highlighted a lot about, we are working on time. We have highlighted a lot on these courses and why Igbos are individualistic. Now, when we come back from this short break, we are going to now hit on the institutions that will reverse this thing. What should we do? The solutions to this problem. And we will also highlight in a nutshell the areas, the vital areas this Igbo backwardness have affected: the economy, the political landscape, and the social. We are going to highlight on these areas and now proper solutions to them, because we are here to proper solution and not just to identify the problem. So you stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break.
The challenge, the pain, the gain, and the potential of doing business in southeastern Nigeria, the Biafra, XC, growing the economy of the southeast. Think home. The challenge.
Yeah, you're welcome back again. This is BVI Channel 1, and we are still on ECOSI, Economy of the Southeast, where we are talking about the economic development of Igbo land. And with me is Individualism Vs the village economist. And we are here to dissect the reason why Igbos will continue to fail, or have continued to fail, or the individual tendency that has been the greatest enemy of Igbo progress: economic progress, political progress, and even social and spiritual progress. Today, we are highlighting on these issues and we are providing solutions. If you are just joining us, this is a live program. You can drop your comments. You can also call the number you're seeing right there on your screen. You can call it, you can WhatsApp it, so that you can make your submission known. Now, let us quickly take some commentaries that have come so far. We have Nolin or Yambo. You know your name, Nolin or Yambo. I can't really call that name out. Then he says, Anewu Igbo Ameze. Okay, Anewu Igbo Ameze or Igbo Ameze. Is it that Ndi Igbo do not recognize kingship structure, or Igbo doesn't have kingship structure? Now, I want to answer you straight away. From the historical, like we've said it here before, that Igbos are Republicans in nation. Kingship is not traceable to Igbo traditional norms and values. That's true. We have what we call collegiate leadership, and they call it Council of Elders. If you go down to history, that is the democratic administrative structure of every Igbo community, and all of them are autonomous. All of them are independent of each other. They are not controlled by written constitution, but they have ordinary. The customs, the traditions, the norms and values that being transferred verbally from generations to generation. And from your clan, you have your representatives, yes, which is usually the elders in the clan. Then from the community, these elders from these various kindreds will now form council of elders. Then the oldest among them becomes the speaker of the house, if you must know it. That is how decisions are taken. And once decision is taken, everybody takes it down to their own now. That is the constituent level in Igbo land before colonization. This is the traditional democratic institution that is in Igbo land. When it comes to sanitation, the youth takes over the sanitation, security, and the rest of them. The women have their own role. The masquerade have their own role. They play in the society. You understand? So, talking about Igbo Emweze or Igbo Ameze. Now, let me tell you the history that introduced this Igboship we have today. It is colonial institutions. It is the colonial institutions that established or introduced what they call warrant chiefs. Then this warrant chiefs now sits on top of the entire community and takes decision by himself. And that is the reason why they really had it hot with our people. Our people resisted them. Our people saw those warrant chiefs as what? As saboteurs that should not be mingled with. If you go to history, it is there. And this is what now transformed into Igboship that we have today. And you see it is the same template during the colonial era. I'm just going to be brief on this. Through the colonial era, it is the British colonies that appoints the warrant chiefs. Today, the British colony or the British government have gone and handed it over to your politicians, whom you call the president and governors, whom today appoints who become your Igbo today.
They issue the second.
Of course, now, even if they tell you to bring somebody from their village to become your Igbo, at the end of the day, it is the government that will say yes or no whether the person is your Igbo or not. That is the same process. So let us not deceive ourselves on that. But we are not against those traditional institutions because they have their own role to play. If they at all understand the powers that have been invested on them and understand how to lead our people, I don't think we'll be having problems in our communities. So that answers that question. Going back to what we are discussing, the political, the economic, and the social progress that have been hindered in Igbo land because of this individualism. That is what we want to highlight, especially the economic aspect of it.
As in the way forward, because we've identified the cause, what brought about it, which personally I can trace it to the effect of the war. And then after the war, now we say that we survived, or are we still surviving? And I said we, as people individually, at individual level, have survived. But on common level, we are finding it difficult. So the question now is that what should be done for us to survive? I want to be practical here. I think the first thing that we should do is to recognize certain institutions we have in our land. For instance, we have ATF, that's a laible Development Foundation. We have Ohanese, as Igbo organization. Now, it is our responsibility as the people to find different ways, of supporting these institutions, projecting them, of course, supporting them and projecting them, supporting them in whatever way for them to deliver mandates. I was discussing with somebody who said that Ohanese has been hijacked by governors, and I asked that person a very simple question. I said, the governor hijacked the Ohanese as an institution because people have failed to play their own part. The guy said, which part? I said, who is funding Ohanese? Exactly. Who is funding Ohanese? The majority of the people are not interested. When they see Chief Nyamodo moving around, nobody cares to know how the old man is buying fueling his cars. Nobody cares to know how the man is taking care of his health challenges. even though he is serving the people. Nobody cares that that man has left his own private life to present himself in service of the public. So who takes care of his welfare? People are not interested. But should the people are interested, like the market leaders, the transport leaders, that have a lot of money, buying houses, buying 200 million naira worth of property, if these different groups are interested to ensure that the institution called organizers work, it is the people that will start the process by saying every month, it's expected that every organization, every individual should pay into organizer first, 100 naira or 200 naira. You can do it first year, that the second year, you now insist on the structure of organizer, that the writing, both the constitution and this and that, should be taken care of. It's only when you have started funding that organization that you have moral justification to question the activities, and not before. The same thing goes to ADF. ADF, being headed by Professor Uzode Mamala, is a credible platform as far as some of us are concerned, because we have men who have fought for the interests of our people for over the years, and these men have continued to fight for the interests of our people. So the issue of trust shouldn't be in doubt at all, as in people are no longer in doubt of whether these guys are credible or not. Now, you find out that ADF as a body is asking the public to give them money to carry out their responsibilities, and people will continue writing on social media, talking without playing that part. I know that I don't give them money, but the little we have through our platforms, we've been able to use it to project the activities of ADF. So if others are using what they have to do the same thing, I do not think we will have challenge. The other one again I want to point out is to draw a line between people going into public services and people going into private services. The challenge we have is now is that people who have been in private practice, like businessmen, like technocrats, when they have opportunity of going into government, they see government business as still going there to maximize profit, to make money, instead of serving people. Actually, they should now begin to know that the moment they go into service, they should use it to fortify and empower institutions. Because if they're doing that, there shouldn't be all this divide and rule, all this as if our institutions are not working. That is, if they're playing their role, things will be okay.
All right, okay, thank you very much. And we are running out of time. We have less than 5 minutes to end this program today. This is a live program. We have seen comments coming in. We're going to take the very last commentaries that just came in. We have Ululu Case. He said, Igbos has not loyalty or respect except money and wealth. Have also totally lost every reasonable traditions, cultures, and values as a people. All we do is individualism. That's the commentary that came in from Ululu Case. And Kelvin Little C says, nice ones, guys. There are 2 people. Okay, that's it. And we have someone that has an opinion that said his name is Ben Rock, saying that Ohanes and Igbo must be dissolved, and the rest of them. We may not take all the commentaries right now, but if you have the opportunity of calling us just in a minute before we round up, then we can take your calls. Now, as a way of wrapping up, talking about economic development of Igbo land, the individual is what institution can be established to ensure economic development of Igbo land. We have identified that the political structures have failed totally, and they have carried that individualistic tendencies into government houses, and that's why they can't fund communal interests of people, and they don't even have plan and agenda.
They see government as business.
Good. Now, and also when you talk about social aspect of our livelihood, like this guy just pointed out, that everybody now respects only money, money and wealth. When you have money and wealth, then you have respect, and that is too bad. You understand? So we have jettison our traditions and norms and values, where truth is the order of the day, ordinary. You understand? So now let us. These are the things, but now here are the now Africa and you know, that is that you see the shift, how we are downshifting, and tomorrow young generation will now see it as our normal norms and value. No longer now it is now Africa and you see that, you see the shift. So I think we should really understand that and you know, try to navigate through these lines so that we get Igbo, position Igbo for greater achievement. We are talking on ecos because we are talking about economic advance, because that is the concentration of this program. We have highlighted the social status, the political. Now let us hit the gear on the economic development of people land with respect to communal interest. We understood during the time of Opala, he established an agricultural settlement in Anambra State. Yes. You and I went there. Yeah. And we're going to bring you the highlights of the documentary. Although we had some setback, that is why we've not brought it to this thing. But subsequently, by next week, before next week, Monday or Tuesday, you will see what we saw in a manner established by Emmanuel and and that was established for a communal interest, for economic development of people. Give us your perspective and what you have or what is obtainable now.
I think we shouldn't get tired of talking and driving. It boils down at this stage on trust system, building a platform that should be trusted by our people. I don't expect magic. I don't expect miracle to happen overnight. I do not expect people to all of a sudden start clapping that we have a system overnight. No. You know, leaders will stand up through their efforts and determination, and that will be established over time. So economically, you cannot build a system where there is no trust. Already before now, we said that we are moving into agriculture, mechanized agriculture, and we are getting land. You know, we've gone there the other time, and you know, these things are there. So it starts from Chinedu. It starts from a face that if he could be trusted, and people encourage him that since you are our eyes here, and we've come to know you over these years, let's see how we can build something around you. It starts from there. Since we have said, if you talk about organizing, many people will say, no, they have failed. If you talk about governors, they will say, no, the governors have failed. Then if you talk about the senators, they will say, no, don't go there. Even our friends in IPOB, the IPOB is not here. Now becoming is overseas. But we are here moving the street. Many of them are out there, they are not here. So many of them are saying Biafra must come. We must get Biafra or we'll die. But you have not gotten Biafra now. Before you get Biafra, you'll be eating food. Not be so. So before then, some people will be working, strategizing, planning, and this is the time that you must begin to identify your leaders. Who are the people that have the courage? Who are the people that speak for your own interest, not the interest of their pockets? As if it's so those people that have the interest of the masses at heart. So if you know them, instead of talking and complaining and lamenting and every day abusing people and saying that the zoo must fall, why not stand up now and say, let's start doing something? Outside that, while we are doing that, on economic level, you know, since we have survived as individuals, as a group, for us to survive as a group, we must begin to identify corporate institutions, cooperative societies, which of course BVI is one of them, but we are not saying we have the monopoly of knowledge there. All what we are doing is that because we have this platform, we want to set a model so that others will now begin to sprinkle to talk about the communal efforts, not individual efforts. It starts from us here. If we can do it, why wouldn't others do it? If we do it in Anambra State, we encourage the person in Igbo State to start something like that.
You know, sometimes people come up with the argument it is impossible.
No, not
you cannot do it. If you do it, the caliphate will come and destroy it. This one will come and do this and all that. You know that sentiment?
No. Of course, they have not destroyed everybody. In 21st century, there are certain things that are not possible. No, I appreciate the propaganda and hyping on social media. That somebody can go out there and die. You know, just like a pastor telling me that he saw it. You know, you will make it next week. You will die. Let's pray that you. If you say that kind of thing, I believe I will die the next day. Everybody, everywhere in the world, you can die. Even in America, there was a time that somebody stood up and started shooting people, and about something people died. You know, no place is secured all over the world. So I can move out there and die. Don't laugh and say clap, but don't be this guy where they thought that he will not die. Anybody can die. But the fact is that even in war situation, people are still executing their strategy.
Exactly.
And their master plan.
And even our people during the war time,
they still do their business.
They were executing.
They still do their business.
If they had no plans, they can't invent a winning way. They can't invent the rocket launchers. They cannot invent battery whatever.
They cannot do that.
They cannot do all that. Refineries and all that.
They can't do that. Like somebody said, if you fail to plan,
you are planned to fail.
It's the simple thing. So if BVI has a roadmap to be a satellite in the next 5 years, the plan starts now. If the investment company plans to have a farm, very big farm, to set a model, we've already drawn the plan. The plan is there. Whether you like it or not, even if there is no fund there, we'll start planting Oko there. We'll start planting what you have as cassava. And before you know it, you know, we'll start doing something. What is key is to have a plan. So the message I want everybody to get today is that there should be a plan to move our efforts together.
And it starts from, and that is where we're wrapping it up. It starts from here. We are bringing this community together. We are forming a very large community. We want to hit, before the end of this year at least, we want to hit 100,000. And we want to have a super multiplier effect by 2020. We want to hit 1 million subscribers on this platform.
It's achievable.
Do you know what we can do with that? We can use that to transform our life. You see what we are saying here? We can bring it to reality when we have such people on this platform. And that is why I commend you for watching. Take another step by subscribing if you have not done that. Don't just subscribe. Please invite other people to join this platform. The number of people watching a live broadcast and subsequently watching it is about between 0 to 5,000 persons on a live broadcast. We need a situation whereby we'll be addressing our people and we will all come together as a force to deliberate on issues and execute them. The thing that is going to bring us together is by you asking your friends, your family members to subscribe on this platform. It is for free. You are not paying a dime. You are not paying a dime to have the kind of information that we are dishing out here to empower you, because we want to return power to the people. This is what we call good governance ministry, returning power back to the people. What we are doing here, we are making our own sacrifice. The least you can do is to support this platform financially. Even in churches, they execute projects. The little you can do is to give your widow's mite to sustain this voice. Because if this voice goes down, to be honest with you, the voice of the ordinary people have succeededly been oppressed. They have succeeded in dropping, or if you allow the system to shut this mouth up, or to frustrate this platform to close down, because we are facing, in fact, even the Bible said that the forces we are up against is mighty. We are fighting against principalities and powers, forces in the high places. On this platform, we are facing it every day. We have brought ourselves out, we have brought our lives out, we have brought our ingenuity out, we have brought our skills out, we have brought our professional background out to save Igbo land, to save Igbo nation, and to bring the aspiration of the Biafra people in general to fruition. That is here we are wrapping it up, and I appreciate you for watching. Keep watching, keep watching, keep subscribing, keep liking. Our platforms are out there. We have our platform on Facebook. Go and join our platform, BVI Channel 1. On Twitter, BVI Channel 1. On Instagram, on our YouTube platform, which is our biggest platform to give you information. Subscribe to it, and I tell you, you will never regret it. Do you have any signing out word for our people?
Yeah, the signing out was is nothing is impossible. You know, you just set your eyes and your mind to do it, and it shall be done. If the churches can have all their structures in all the communities, in our villages and everywhere, you know, why is it impossible for us to set up business models like farming, snail business, and what have you, a lot of them, set it up in all the communities. As you go to the church, body and soul, you know, you need the other component to survive. If after going to the church, you don't have anything as per economic base or background supporting you, that is where you have crisis. So what this platform is saying is that as you believe, it shall happen. Just believe, have faith, right? And it shall come to pass.
Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. That is how we're wrapping it up on today's program. See you next week. Every Friday we have ECOSI, Economy of the Southeast. Don't forget, on Thursdays we have Family Affairs. And I believe so many of you enjoyed our program yesterday. If you have not watched it, after this program, go back and watch it. Please do us a favor. Just always click on the share button. Share this information to your friends and family. On Facebook, on Twitter, on Watsap. Just keep sharing it, okay? So that our people will have faith. And they say faith is the greatest thing. It is hope and faith for us to achieve our desired goal. But how can our people have faith if they have not come in contact with the message? So continue sharing it, continue bringing people on this platform, and we'll continue building a very powerful community that will change our lives. So I'm signing out and saying, may God bless you, stay blessed, goodbye.
The challenge, the pain, the gain, and potential in business